Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name is ODJ. Welcome back to the ODJ Effect. House of the Dragon, Episode 2, Season 3 review, slash breakdown, slash reaction, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. This was a sensational episode. Amazing episode. Amazing acting, amazing cinematography. Just everything was just great about this fucking episode. The dialogue was just beautiful. In my opinion, this was a better episode than last episode. Even though we got a big battle and all that shit, we got such good dialogue and acting in this episode. It trumps last episode for me, honestly. It trumps last episode. And there's so many people online. Well, not so many people, but there's a few people online that are criticizing this episode, nitpicking all this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like niggas like Nerdrotic and shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro. This was an amazing episode, right? This was an amazing episode. These people are just so jaded by all the trash that we've been getting from a lot of the pop culture that's been coming out, that even when something amazing comes out, they don't know how to appreciate it because they're so damn jaded from everything else, right? It's just so sad to see. It's sad and it's brutal, right? Like, how can you call this? How can you watch this episode and not respect the acting and the dialogue that was given to you? Like, it blows my fucking mind, bro. Nerdrotic is trash, and I put that on my soul. They're trash. They're garbage. Holy fuck. But, yeah, I'm going to go down everything that happened in this episode. Mostly everything. Break down things I liked, things I didn't like. What will probably happen next episode. So the episode starts off with Bela bringing Jace's body back to Dragonstone, right? And then Rhaenyra sees his body. She's kind of in shock, kind of in disbelief in the beginning, and then she starts mourning him. And this is the acting I'm talking about. Emma Darcy, amazing actress, man. She's sensational, right? You can feel the sadness, the grief, the anger, the frustration. You can feel it all. Just, my God, this was such a good scene, bro. Such a good scene. This is what I'm talking about. This kind of acting, we don't get this a lot anymore in TV, right? Even in movies, we don't get this much anymore, right? So she's mourning him and shit, and then the Kingsguard tries to pull her off, and she's like, "Don't touch me! Like, what are you doing? You're the reason why this kind of happened. You fucking betrayed me." And then he gives up his sword, and he's like, "Yeah, I failed you and shit. My life is forfeit. You can take my life or whatever." And then she's like, what would that do? Like, how would that help me? How would that help? Would that wake my son? And she does have a point there, right? She has a good point there. Me, personally, I would have cut that nigga's head off. Right there. I would have smoked him. Because it's like, bro, you need to follow my fucking orders. Not what my son says. I'm your queen. You need to follow my orders, right? Unless I'm gone, you're following my fucking orders. Right? So for some reason, he doesn't get his head smoked, which is nuts, but okay. And she starts mourning him a little bit more. And then we switch to Aegon and Larys. So they're still in their wagon getting transported to Dragonstone, right? And then Aegon is like, basically, their shit gets attacked by, I believe it was the Triarchy, because once Larys looks outside, he's like, oh, damn, the Lannister really got the Triarchy to fight for the Greens. So I'm assuming that it was the Triarchy that was fighting them. And then, so they escape. Aegon starts stabbing a motherfucker with a broken bow and arrow. Starts stabbing him in the gut and shit. Like, that shit was brutal. And then Aegon's like, yo, we're going to Rook's Rest, right? And then Larys is like, wow, like, that's a far fucking trip. You know what I mean? Like, but clearly Aegon isn't thinking logically anymore. He's not thinking logically. He's thinking emotionally. You know what I mean? He probably wants to go see it because I believe his dragon is still at Rook's Rest. I believe. So he's probably going to find his fucking dragon, right? So, and then we pan to Daemon and the Rivermen and the Starks, and they're just celebrating their victory, right? They got the Lannister head on a stick, they got the lion head on a stick, and they're just singing and dancing and drinking. Like, that shit was dope, bro. That shit was really dope. And then Simon Strong pulls up, and he's like, I brought you guys some wine, to celebrate and shit. I also have a message from the queen. So Damon reads the message. He tells them that the prince is dead. So he wants them to march south. And he says, cut down anyone that opposes you, show no mercy. And credit to Matt Smith, too, in this episode, man. Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, two of the greatest fucking actors in television right now. And I put that on my soul. Two of the best actors / actresses in the fucking game right now on TV. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Right? So, and then after that, we get to Reyna. I think the scene with Reyna was either before that or after that. But we get to Reyna. She goes back to the Veil instead of going to Dragonstone and taking some accountability for what she did. She tries to fucking go back to the Veil. I was like, oh my god, this girl's trash, bro. She is trash. Like, she's so afraid. Like, come on, you need to take some fucking accountability, right? When Rhaenyra finds out that she left, her two sons that were going to Pentos to try to tame a fucking wild dragon, and then she flew that wild dragon into a battle right after she quote unquote tamed it and caused Jace's death. I don't even know what Rhaenyra's gonna do. I mean, at this point, Rhaenyra's so savage, she might just be like, you gotta go. If she says you gotta go, that would be fucking insane. But I don't know what her reaction is going to be at this point. Because it's like, what is she doing? She's stupid. Like, Lady Aaron is like, she's like, what are you doing here? You disobeyed my orders. You know what I mean? The prince is dead. You disobeyed the queen's orders. She's like, I don't want to see you again. And I was like, yo, she's talking facts. Like, she's like, Reyna says, oh, nobody saw me. You know what I mean? No one saw me. Oh, excuse me. And then she's like, oh, I doubt that you had any sense at all in the beginning, which is just a blow to her fucking mind. Like, holy shit. Like, she's talking some facts, bro. She's talking some facts. Reyna's character is all over the place. I know that HBO gave her Nettles' storyline, so that's another reason why. But, bro, her shit is all over the place. Like, if I was Rhaenyra and I found out all about this, I'd be like, yo, you gotta go. You gotta go. Even though it's Daemon's daughter, like, and that's another thing. How is Daemon gonna react when he finds out that she's the one that tamed the wild dragon and she's the one that caused all that fucking mayhem at the gullet? Like, how is he gonna react? Especially if Rhaenyra says, I want your head. You gotta go. How is Daemon gonna react to that shit? That's gonna be really interesting. I really hope they follow that because that would be really fucking interesting to see. So then we get to Allison. Allison's still like, she's still moving boards on the moving pieces on the chessboard. She goes to talk to the Gold Cloaks, one of the commander of the Gold Cloaks, I believe it is, Sir Luthor. And she's just telling him all the stuff that's going on. Rhaenyra's coming, whatever. And he's like, this could be considered treason, what you're doing. And she's like, well, what would you consider it, right? And then, fuck, what happens after that, man? So much shit happened after that. We get to Corlys and Alan. So Alan's looking for Corlys, because he remember last episode he fell off the ship into the water. So Alan's searching for Corlys. And then Baela pulls up and they start talking. So Baela knows that Alan is Corlys' son because Adam told her, right? And then they eventually find Corlys. And then Corlys is like, if this is a victory, I don't ever want to see this shit again. I don't ever want to see it again. And then he tells Alan, like, I got nothing else to give you because his shit got raided. His fucking castle got raided, right? So he's like, I got nothing else to give you except my name. And Alan's like, that means more to me than a mountain of gold, which was such a dope line. That was such a dope line and a dope scene. I love the Valerians, man. They're such a cool house. Such a cool house. But yeah, and then we get to Aemon. So Aemon leaves King's Landing. right? We see a shot of Aemon leaving King's Landing, and then what's it called? We pan back to Daemon. So Daemon, after telling the Rivermen and the men from the north that I got to go back to Dragonstone. So Daemon shows up finally at Dragonstone, and he runs into the two bastards, and he's like, "What are y'all doing here? Like, weren't y'all supposed to be at Harrenhal waiting for Aemon?" And Hugh was like, "We waited there for 2 days and nothing showed up." And Damon's like, "So you guys only waited for 2 days and you left your mission? Like, what are y'all doing?" And then Ulf just starts yapping, bro. This motherfucker does not stop yapping. I don't understand it. This nigga yaps way too much. So listen, if this nigga gets smoked, he gets smoked. Like, I don't even give a shit anymore. Cause bro, this nigga he's just a yapper, and he's yeah, bro. Ulf is cooked. You know what I mean? So he's yapping and shit. He's like, that place is weird and shit. We were hearing sounds. You know what I mean? All this shit. And Damon just backhands this motherfucker. Just slaps him. And I was like, thank you, Damon. Thank you. God damn, this motherfucker talks way too much. You know what I mean? So, and then Damon goes upstairs, right? And he runs into Massaria. They start chatting and shit. He's like, I left you here a prisoner, and I come back and you're high up in the ranks and shit. You're what did he call her, an eel? He said she slithered her way up to the ranks like an eel or a snake or something, right? And then one of the I think it's the Septon, I believe. I don't know. Someone on the council comes in and tells Daemon that Vagar has left King's Landing. So Daemon's like, all right, I'll go tell Rhaenyra. So Daemon goes and tells Rhaenyra, right? And then Rhaenyra's obviously still mourning. And then Daemon obviously mentions the vision again of Daenerys. And then he tells her like, Vagar left King's Landing. Like, we gotta go. We need to get this shit done. Are you gonna let your two sons die in vain? We need to get this shit done. And Damon's a real one, bro. He stands on business. He doesn't let the emotions fuck him up. He knows what needs to be done, right? So Aemon pulls up to Harrenhal and he just starts burning everybody, bro. He just burns everybody with fucking Vagar. And he just becomes a fucking one-man army. Well, two-man army with Vagar. But I'm talking about in terms of on the feet, like, this nigga just starts killing everybody, bro. And then he walks into the Strong's place. And obviously Simon Strong sitting there eating. This nigga, every time we pull up to this fucking castle, this nigga's just sitting there at the fucking table eating, bro. Bro always sitting at the table eating this shit, man. He's funny as hell. But unfortunately, he's also stupid. Like, he walks up to Aemon in his face and puts his hands on Aemon. Like, I was like, bro, what are you doing? You don't understand. This motherfucker's he's even more savage than Daemon, kind of. Like, what are you doing? And then, of course, Aemon just stabs him, right? I was like, I saw that coming because it's like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you walking up to him? Right? So he kills Simon Strong. He kills one of Simon Strong's sons, and then from behind, one of the other son stabs Aemon in, like, I think it was like the back or the side of the back, kind of. Gets a nice stab on him, and then Aemon just turns around and just slices him, right, and then stabs him. And at first I was like, come on, bro, like, you had a perfect shot. You're telling me all you're gonna do is just a little stab from behind? But I was wrong, man. He got him nicely, because Aemon starts leaking from the back, right? And then Alice is standing there, and then Aemon is like pleading for help. He's like, help me, help me. And then he passes out, right? So he's not dead. Alice is obviously gonna help him because she wants Harrenhal. So if she helps Aemon, out, right? Aemon could give her Harrenhal. You know what I mean? Unlike Daemon and Rhaenyra, because Daemon said that she doesn't have a name, she doesn't have a husband, she doesn't have any of that shit. So why would she think that she deserves Harrenhal, right? But Aemon could give it to her if she saves her, right? So that's probably what's gonna happen with that. What else? What's next? What's next? I believe we pan again to Allison. Allison, in the room, she's just packing up her stuff. Prior to this, she goes and tells Helena that Rhaenyra's coming, all this good stuff, and then they go to the wall where all the guards are, and she says, "Listen, Rhaenyra's coming. You know, you guys are to let her enter. Don't try to attack her unless you want to get fucking burned." And basically, Helena basically she tells Helena to say it, right. And credit to Helena, man. Helena's she's such a pure heart. Like, she does not belong in any of this madness. Like, she's such a kind, pure-hearted girl. It's like, bro, you feel so bad for her, man. Honestly, you feel terrible for her, especially if they stick to the books with her story. It's gonna be so tragic and brutal to see what happens to her, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough, right? So they tell him, listen, unless you want to get burned, Rhaenyra's coming. Don't do anything. Just let her enter. All right. And then and then we pan to Rhaenyra. Right. Rhaenyra's getting ready. She's getting ready with Daemon, and the people on her council are still questioning what she has to fucking say, which is just blowing my fucking mind. Right. It's completely blowing my mind because if this was a king, they wouldn't question shit. Because if they did question shit, they would know they would get their heads cut off. But these motherfuckers are still questioning her actions and her motives. It's like, bro, like the one motherfucker's like, oh, what if this is a trap? What if this is a snare? And she's like, so be it. Like, who gives a shit? And she's like, I'm done talking. And I'm like, thank you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, man? Is it just because she's a woman you keep on questioning what she has to fucking say? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's nuts. Those guys are yeah, they're stupid. They're stupid, right? So, and then Daemon tells so they're getting ready, and then Daemon tells Hugh and Ulf, he's like, listen, you're our backup. And then once we take over King's Landing, right? Once we take over King's Landing, we gotta focus our attention back on Vhagar. And he's like, he looks at Ulf. Mind you, he's talking to both of them, but he's just staring at Ulf because he knows Ulf is like, this nigga's just, he thinks too much, and he's too reactionary. Like, so he's just looking at Ulf. He's like, listen, none of this requires any of your thoughts. Just do what you're told, right? So they pull up to King's Landing and they take that bitch easily. You know what I mean? They all land. Rhaenyra and Daemon walk in, and Daemon just becomes a one-man army, nigga. Mind you, he has Rhaenyra there, but he doesn't need her. And nigga becomes a one-man army, just starts cutting everybody up. Niggas, oh my god. Like, I remember there was the one guard that was just walking, and Daemon just stabbed that nigga. Like, he was walking around the corner, and Daemon just stabbed that nigga quick time. I was like, god damn, bro. What if he wasn't even trying to oppose you? That shit was funny. Right? So, what else happens, right? So yeah, they take King's Landing, right? Oh no, prior to this, I forgot to fucking mention this scene, bro. The scene with fucking Lord Jasper, the Master of Laws. So, Allison is getting ready, right? She's just packing up her shit, right? And this motherfucker comes in the room because he found out that Allison took a secret meeting with the knights, the gold cloaks, right? So he fucking comes in there. He walks in there. He closes the door and he just starts sprouting shit. He's like, oh, I remember when you were a little girl and you slithered your way up to power and all this shit. He's like, yeah, in these times of darkness, we all try to find pleasure. Like you with Sir Criston Cole. And then for some reason, because he knows that she's committing treason, but for some reason, he thinks that this is a perfect opportunity to try to sexually assault Allison. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you... And mind you, this is the Master of Laws with a wife. He has a wife, and he's the Master of Laws. And this motherfucker thinks this is the perfect opportunity to try to grape Allison, to try to SA Allison. I was like, bro, this nigga needs to go ASAP. Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? She even tells him like, "Yo, your head will be gone for this," and he clearly doesn't give a shit. Like, absolutely horny fucker, bro. Right? So the maester walks in on him, and he tries to fucking play it off. He's like, "Oh, we got a traitor in our hands." I'm like, bro, this guy's sick, bro. Absolutely sick. And credit to the maester, bro. The maester's like, listen, I don't know what she's done, but I know what you just tried to do. Fucking arrest him. And he gets arrested, right? He gets fucking arrested. And then the maester looks at Alice and he's like, listen, like, you gotta get your shit together. Like, this is getting fucking insane, right? So then that's when Rhaenyra, after that, that's when Rhaenyra pulls up and all that stuff, right? After that, Rhaenyra pulls up with all the dragons. Daemon starts cutting niggas up. They get into King's Landing, and I guess the Queen's Guard, or the Queen's Guard, the King's Guard was waiting for them, right? So the I think there was a couple of them. Yeah, there was a couple of them fucking in there, right? And then the one motherfucker's like, once he sees Rhaenyra draw her sword, motherfucker starts, the commander, he starts laughing and shit. He's like, oh, I've never seen this before. Fucking sexist bastard, bro. Sexist bastard, man. Absolutely fucking brutal, right? So then the gold cloaks come in from behind them. A shit ton of gold cloaks, right? And Sir Luther, the leader of them, he's like, listen, we remember our commander Daemon Targaryen. He's like, unless you want to get cut down, drop your swords and surrender right fucking now. So they all start dropping their sword. So the commander has no choice. He gets fucking arrested, right? And then Daemon's like, there's the throne. That's your throne. And she's like, no, not yet. She's like, bring Aegon the Usurper to me, right? So Daemon and them start traveling around the castle. He goes to the maester, and the maester's like, listen. He's like, I can give you up someone who you would have more satisfaction with than me, because I'm just a fucking maester, you know what I mean? Thank God he didn't kill the maester. I like that maester, bro. He's chill. He's chill, man. He's just doing his fucking job, you know what I mean? He almost lost his life like fucking 3 times now? Like, he's just doing his fucking job, bro. He hasn't done shit wrong, honestly. I feel bad for that fucker. But what's it called, man? So they go down to the dungeons and shit, right? And basically the Maester gave up Jasper, which, thank God, bro. Fuck this guy, bro. Absolutely fuck this guy. And he has the audacity to call Alicent a bitch. Man, fuck you, bro. You're a fucking bitch, honestly. You're a fucking a sniveling snake for trying to do what the fuck you did. Instead of just turning Alicent in, you try to grape her? What kind of... Bro. Nah, bro. Fuck that guy. For real. And then some guy in the back is like, listen, this part was nuts to me, bro. The guy in the back was like, listen, hey Damon, hey Prince. He's like, there's a gift for you here if you ever were returned from Larys Strong. And at this point I was like, what kind of fucking gift could Larys have left for Damon? Like, what kind of game is Larys playing, bro? He's a fucking, like, what kind of game is he playing, right? So Daemon heads into the back fucking, like, deep in the fucking dungeons. And he fucking shines the light with the fire. And he sees Otto. Otto is fucking there. The whole time, Otto was in this fucking cell. We knew he was locked up, but we didn't know where and we didn't know why. So the whole time, he was still in King's Landing, locked up, underneath the fucking, deep in the dungeons, underneath the fucking castle. I was like, no fucking way, bro. That's fucking insane, bro. I was like, nah. Because I thought someone else captured Otto. But it was fucking Larys, bro. Hey, Larys is a savage, man. He is a savage. He's smart, but he's also a savage, right? So they bring in Otto. They bring in the Master of Lost, Jasper. They bring in Otto, right? And then Otto's like, yeah, he's like, is everyone dead? I guess everyone's dead and shit. And then Daemon's like, listen, Aegon's left. Like, he's gone. But Otto can take his place. Because Otto did all this shit. And Otto is the reason why all of this shit is happening. I'm not even kidding. You take Otto out of this story, none of this shit happens. Absolutely none of it. Because Otto is the one that made Allison do what she did. I don't blame Allison because she was just a kid. She thought she was doing what was right, and she thought she was just doing what her father told her to do, right? If you take Otto out of the picture, none of this shit happens. Otto also gaslit Viserys into not making Daemon his heir. Like, bro, Otto is the main reason why all of this bullshit is fucking happening. So fuck Otto, bro. You know what I mean? So Otto gets his fucking head sliced. First Rhaenyra misses, but then she takes another swing and just slices that nigga's head off, which was just beautiful. And then that bitch ass nigga Jasper tries to, he's like, tell my lady wife, and Daemon doesn't even let him finish the sentence. Just boom, just slices that nigga's head off, bro. I was like, yes, man, get that motherfucker up out of here. Get that grapist out of here, bro. He does not deserve to fucking live, and he does not deserve to have a last word for shit, right? And then this scene was insane, bro. Rhaenyra starts walking up to the throne with blood on her fucking shoes, so there's blood marks when she's going up to the throne. The symbolism was just so fucking good in this scene, man. So fantastic. And then you got the reflection of the throne in Otto's blood. It was just so beautiful, bro. So beautiful. Amazing scene. Amazing acting. Sensational cinematography. 9 out of 10 fucking episode, bro. And then I guess Allison and Helena were trying to escape, right? But they obviously got caught by the fucking gold cloaks, right? So the gold cloaks bring her in. And then Allison looks down and she obviously sees Otto's fucking dead body there. And then she looks at Rhaenyra like, it's like, what do you expect, bro? Like, she obviously didn't know where Otto was, so it's a kind of a shock to her. But it's like, she can't be mad, bro. This motherfucker conspired everything, bro. Fucking everything. So fuck Otto, bro. Straight up, fuck Otto. You know what I mean? I got the only person I'll have remorse for if they get killed is Helena. Everyone else on the greens can go, nigga. Including Allison, as fucked up as that is. Like, Allison gotta go too. Right? But that was the episode. You know what I mean? That was the episode. Sensational episode. Amazing episode. You know, people that are criticizing this episode, they just don't know what good TV is anymore because they've been so jaded. So they feel like they have an obligation to talk shit about everything that comes out. Like niggas like Nerdrotic. They feel like they got an obligation to talk shit about everything that comes out, and it's just sad to see, bro. It's sad to see. It's sad to see. It's sad that they live that life, honestly. They can't appreciate anything that comes out anymore. You know, it's pathetic. It's pathetic and it's sad. But yeah, man, next episode, I don't know what's gonna happen next episode. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I don't know what's gonna happen next episode. Maybe we'll see Aemon getting treated by Alice, Rhaenyra making her changes to King's Landing. You know what I mean, doing what she has to do or whatever. Probably gonna see Ormond Hightower again because we didn't see him this episode, you know. But yeah, man, that's about it, man. Great episode, like I said, 9 out of 10. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace out. God willing, God bless. ODJ out.